If you think the MMA world is calm right now, you're missing the real problem. Islam Makhachev is becoming the center of a storm, and every division is starting to turn on him at the same time. By the end of this mess, Islam is standing on top of the sport while everyone is angry with him at once, and the road there gets loud, ugly, and dangerous fast. If you enjoy clear fight breakdowns like this, subscribe now and stay with me.
Verlo ahí en la esquina delante de Khabib, que son tan chulos y arrogantes que la verdad que me encantaría ahí someterlo delante de él. Y si después quiere pasar Khabib, también le piso la cabeza con mucho gusto. Siendo lo que han dicho, se han sentado en una mesa y ¿sabe lo que han dicho? Que le den por Arman. Así que, Arman, desde aquí que te den por el culo desde miles de kilómetros y juzgarme y criticarme, pero después cuando me tienes en ese octógono te empiezas a dar cuenta de que yo no soy Jack de la Madalena, que yo no soy Dan Hooker, que yo no soy todos esos paquetes a los que te has enfrentado anteriormente.
Ilia Topuria isn't staying quiet anymore. He's calling Islam Makhachev out directly and pushing him toward chaos. He's framing it like this is the one matchup Islam has been avoiding, and he's saying it with the kind of belief you only show when you think you can finish someone.
La sensación de que olvidan un poco cuál es tu base. Perdóname, pero yo siempre digo que eres un grappler y te pido por favor que no me digas completo y me gustaría preguntarte cuál es tu punto fuerte realmente.
A ver, yo considero que mi punto fuerte es el suelo. Yo considero que en el suelo me puedo desenvolver en cualquier manera, que puedo sacarte una finalización de cualquier posición. Pero sí que es verdad que últimamente he aceptado que no es lo que el público quiere ver tanto, aunque con Islam tal vez sea algo que el público quiera ver, ¿no? Dominarlo de pie, darle sus 3-4 manos en el punto que le tenga que dar y después someterlo ahí en la esquina delante de Khabib, que son tan chulos y arrogantes que la verdad que me encantaría ahí someterlo delante de él. Y si después quiere pasar Khabib, también le piso la cabeza con mucho gusto.
Topuria says he's not like the opponents Islam already ran through. He claims the comparisons to Jack Della Maddalena or Dan Hooker fall apart the second the cage door closes. In his words, one clean right hand from his side doesn't just drop you, it puts you out cold, and you're not recovering anytime soon.
Cuando defienda mi título en 155 libras, veremos a ver. Ya no quiero seguir haciendo predicciones acerca de nadie porque todo el mundo habla muchísimo con el teclado, todo el mundo quiere brillar, todo el mundo tiene mucha valentía, mucho coraje, pero cuando llega la hora de la verdad, no es así. Y todo el mundo sabe que es un combate que quiere verlo todo el mundo y él por alguna razón hasta ahora no lo ha aceptado y después habla demasiado. Es muy fácil hablar desde miles de kilómetros y juzgarme y criticarme, pero después cuando me tienes en ese octógono te empiezas a dar cuenta de que yo no soy Jack de la Madalena, que yo no soy Dan Hooker, que yo no soy todos esos paquetes a los que te has enfrentado anteriormente. Yo soy algo muy diferente y cuando te ponga mi mano derecha encima, vas a ver que vas a tener un sueño muy, muy largo.
Then Georges St. Pierre jumps in and shifts the whole conversation. He calls Islam Makhachev the best pound-for-pound fighter on paper, but he warns that paper doesn't win fights. Once punches and grips start flying, it comes down to who performs perfectly when the lights are hottest. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this.
What would be your game plan to go against Islam Makhachev? Like, what would you do right now to beat him? Because everyone, is he just too good right now or like what would you do?
I think right now he's probably on paper the best fighter.
Yeah.
Probably pound for pound beat Islam Makhachev. It doesn't mean it's not because you're the best that you're not gonna lose. It's not the best fighter that wins the fight. It's not the best team that wins the game. It's the team that play the best the night of the game. Same thing in fighting. People for some reason believe that fighting is different. Always the strongest man that wins. Not true. If you zig when you should have zagged, you make a mistake, boom,
Cut.
you're cut. By the way, it happened to Islam Makhachev. If you saw his loss, he got cut. Yeah, it could happen again. I believe if he would fight that guy 10 times out of 10 times, he would probably beat him 9 times. But that one time he got clipped, and that can happen.
St. Pierre reminds everyone that dominance doesn't make you untouchable. One wrong step, one late reaction, one bad decision, and even the best fighter can get caught and finished in seconds. And he points out something important. Islam has already felt that kind of danger before, and that history still hangs over this debate.
Islam Makhachev is very skilled. I think you would need a guy that can match his wrestling in a way that either to counter his takedown, or if he get put down, manage to scramble back up and create distance and also fight him standing up. I think you need a guy that put pressure on him with a lot of fakes and feints. There's a guy that gave him a lot of trouble. He was from France. He was one of my training partner. If you go and check that fight online, his name was Mansour Barnaoui. He was one of my best training partner when I was getting ready for fights, and he gave him a lot of trouble. And it was in Makhachev early career, but if you look at this fight, he could have gone the other way as well. He went to decision, and the way Mansour Barnaoui fought Makhachev, that's the way you need to fight. A lot of pressure, create a lot of scramble, and pressure.
Just gotta catch him off guard.
Yes, flying knees, stuff like that, like doing stuff like that are crazy.
Then St. Pierre quietly lays out the game plan that changes everything. He says the way to beat Islam is to survive the wrestling scramble again and again, keep working back to your feet, pressure him with feints, and force him to react instead of letting him control every moment. He points straight to Islam's early fight with Mansour Barnaoui as proof that this approach can work.
Voy a preguntarte directamente. Toda la gente dice que tienes miedo de Arman y te tengo que preguntar por eso.
Yeah. Bueno, al final ya sabes lo que pienso sobre la opinión de los demás. Arman, bueno, es un buen luchador, ha tenido sus oportunidades en las que se ha negado a competir, ha tenido su oportunidad de pelear por el campeonato del mundo, se ha retirado del combate. Todos los luchadores hemos enfrentado dolores de espalda, dolores de brazo, de pierna, de todo, y aún así nos hemos presentado en el combate. Él por alguna razón no. Y él sabe cuál ha sido esa conversación interna. Tal vez se ha tenido que cambiar los calzones después de tomar esa decisión.
That matters because it shows Islam isn't impossible to beat. He's just brutal when opponents panic and stop moving. The moment someone refuses to stay pinned, keeps building pressure, and creates constant problems, the fight becomes risky in ways fans don't always notice. If this is the kind of fight talk you like, subscribe. More is coming.
Yo ahora te hablo como promotor, darle la oportunidad a una persona que le das una promoción tan grande, inviertes tanto dinero para promocionarlo de esa forma, ponerlo en una cartelera tan grande para que te lo juegue de esa manera, es muy complicado volver a depositarle confianza. Después ha tenido como otro combate ahora estelar en la que le ha metido un cabezazo en un careo. Es como que no demuestra mucha inteligencia, tampoco demuestra como que el cariño que le está dando la UFC en sus promociones, porque lo que no entiende es que la gente está invirtiendo dinero para promocionarlo y él con un simple cabezazo está poniendo en riesgo todo ello, porque el contrincante puede recibir un corte, un daño innecesario y el combate pudiera llegar a caerse, ¿verdad?
Then the attention swings back to Topuria, and he brushes off the idea that he's scared of Arman Tsarukyan. He answers with sarcasm and attitude, painting Arman as a guy who cracked when the biggest chance showed up.
Tú ves que tienes una persona enfrente a la que le estás dando cariño, en la que estás invirtiendo el dinero que realmente te está devolviendo las cosas de esa manera, al final tú le seguirías dando cariño.
No.
Bueno, pues eso es lo que están haciendo. Lo que han dicho, se han sentado en una mesa y ¿sabes lo que han dicho? Que le den por el culo a Arman. Así que, Arman, desde aquí que te den por el...
Topuria pushes it further and questions Arman's reliability. He implies talent doesn't matter if the UFC can't count on you to show up, and he shifts the argument away from skill and toward professionalism. That kind of claim hits harder than basic trash talk because it can affect careers, not just pride.
I don't expect you to have any sympathy for Arman Tsarukyan, but were you surprised that you could make this interim title without him in it?
No, he's bored. Don't really know anyone who wants to see Arman Tsarukyan fight. I listed so many reasons why he hasn't got this title shot in an interview the other week. Pulled out on a day's notice when he said he had a bad back, when he never. Just couldn't make weight, ruin the main event. Punched the fan walking out of the cage. Probably cost the UFC a lot more money. Nearly ruined another main event for the first fight in Qatar. by headbutting Dan Hooker. Just don't be a little spoiled brat, and you might end up getting in good grace.
From there, things blow up even more. Now it's not only Topuria talking, Paddy Pimblett piles on too. He openly mocks Arman's past mistakes and acts like Arman missing the interim title fight is his own fault. Not politics, not favoritism, just bad choices.
It's his own fault, lad. It's his own family's fault for letting him be a spoiled little baby his whole life, lad, because he's got money. You know what I mean? He thinks that he can just like pay his way out of anything. Well, nah, lad, you got told you've got to work your way back to the title. And beating Dan Hooker, who can't grapple to save his life, doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But it is funny because he's left out in the cold now because Charles is fighting Max and I'm fighting Justin. And like, the next person down the rankings is Dan Hooker, who he's just beat. You know what I mean? He's going to have to rematch Gamrot or something and try and beat Gamrot. Because for now, nobody gives a flying about Arman Tsarukyan. It's not my fault Arman Tsarukyan's an absolute sausage.
It's not.
It's not my fault he can't control his emotions and start headbutting people at weigh-ins and pulling out the night before fights and hitting fans when he's walking out. That's not on me, that's on him. And he knows why he's not fighting for the belt. He needs to stop about it.
And that's how the story ends. Islam Makhachev at the center of the MMA world, with the heat coming from every direction and the divisions around him turning into a full argument at once. If you want the next update and the next breakdown, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.